Logan Paul and R-Truth are in the two biggest singles matches on a WWE PLE. That is absolutely insane, and we're here to talk about it. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers, talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, not really on the bingo card. You could have asked me that, and I would have probably gave 100 guesses.
No.
Neither one of them, not on there. R-Truth in 2025, even having a match, seems a little crazy.
Yeah, we got a bunch to talk about. Saturday Night Main Event. It's going to be a short 2-hour show is what they're scheduled here. And we're going to get into all of it. And we're going to start with the big question of the day. Logan Paul and Jey Uso, they are having themselves a World Heavyweight Championship match on Monday night. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, they were out to kill the man. Didn't quite do it, but Logan Paul stands tall at the end of it. Which, you know, knocked him out for what, the fourth time?
Mm-hmm.
4 times. Anyway, easy question, let's get out of the way here. Will the WWE do the unthinkable and somehow, some way give Logan Paul the championship at Saturday Night Main Event?
I'm going to go no on this one, but I will say, can you imagine the backlash? Can you imagine the frustration? You're one of the people that thinks that Logan Paul is going to eventually hold a world title. Well, if that is the case, I'm not saying he should, but this would be a quick run. You could have him hold it. You could have him then lose to Gunther here in just a couple of weeks. I would be really surprised, though, if they do that. Jey Uso is the most over guy on the roster still. He deserves a long title reign. Didn't quite get one with that IC title, so it's kind of time for him to kind of get one. Plus, you see the crowd. You see it every single week. Jay's more in shape. You get the redos. You get the reruns. To play my music one more time. Everybody eats. Everybody has fun. I'm going to say no. Not time for Logan Paul, but if WWE wanted to shock some people at Saturday Night Main Event, that's how you do it.
Yeah, they're not going to shock the world and give Logan Paul the championship on Saturday. He's not beating Jey Uso. I don't care who the hell runs in. I don't care if Seth runs in. I don't care if Braun runs in. I don't care if The Undertaker comes back and runs in. Logan Paul's not getting the belt, but if they were to do the unthinkable out of nowhere, I mean, the world may collapse. The IWC would implode on itself. People would be up in arms. If Logan Paul wins, We Riot clan might just jump the barriers and start destroying Saturday Night Main Event. It would be a horrible decision on WWE's part. I do think that down the line, 2026, maybe we are going to end up giving this man the title. I mean, say what you want, hate on me if you want, but he's got some of the biggest following in the world on social media, and running around with a big WWE logo on his chest, around his waist, does good things for the WWE. So I think it's going to happen one day, but Saturday Night Main Event is not that day.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. Jay's also the one that has the most branches from storylines. Like, he's got the Gunther stuff, and he's got the Braun Breaker tie-in, and the Rollins stuff, and Heyman's even talked to him. Then you look later on in the night, you got maybe Sami Punk. How does that all come into play? So Jay's got the most interesting kind of story. It is a nice little one-off, though. Get Jey a title defense underneath his belt. Give him a solid win here.
Yeah, one other question here. I mean, obviously, Monday Night Raw made it clear that there's so many people surrounding Jey Uso. You know, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Gunther, they're all surrounding him, clouding him. Obviously, Logan Paul. Is someone going to get involved in this match? Are we going to get Seth and Braun running out there to try to screw over him? We had people in the comments and in our Discord say that Gunther may actually stop Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker from doing it, because he did say that, like, he not only wants his title back, but he wants Jey Uso back. So could we get some sort of, crazy stuff happening like that?
Yeah, if you're a fan of this channel, you know that we tend to love to overbook some stuff. And that we love to let our imaginations run wild here. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say if we get anything, it is maybe just a Gunther appearance. I think it is very dependent upon where this lands in the card. Because if there is some stuff that maybe happens, you do have, the tag match later on. I'm going to say no, just altogether. I think maybe it's just going to be a straight up 1v1. Logan Paul's matches tend to kind of go a little longer. There tend to be a little, spot of the night type thing. I'm going to say nothing. The only thing maybe is a Paul Heyman.
Ooh.
I would maybe see like a Paul Heyman coming out and just talking to Jey. Nothing crazy, but maybe just a comment here or there. Something to maybe sprinkle some ideas in people's heads. But I'm going no, just a straight up 1v1. Who's the better man?
I think it's 100% happening that we're getting run-ins because it's the main event. Before, when we did our predictions, we didn't assume it was going to be the main event. Then Raw comes around and says, yes, it is in fact the main event of the show. Will be Jey Uso, Logan Paul. WWE on any PLE like lately, I mean, they're the overbooked guys right now. They have people running out there, and this has so much story involved in it for runouts. And we have the potential stuff in the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker tag team match that we'll talk about in a little bit that could lead to some more shenanigans coming after Jey. So I do think we get people running out there, and I think that they're right. I think that Gunther is going to stop it because not only does he want the title, he wants to beat Jey for that title. So we may get some sort of like face-ish move from Gunther coming out there and saving the day.
Yeah, it's a really fair point. I mean, they did have Gunther kind of cut a somewhat face-ish promo on Logan Paul. I mean, anybody's in a face when they are in the ring with Logan Paul. So that is a good point there. We'll see. I mean, you could look back at the Saturday Night Main Event before where we thought something was going to happen with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and nothing happened on screen, at least. So maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, we'll run this right into the tag team match happening. So Seth and Braun Breaker obviously taking on Sami Zayn and CM Punk in the match on Saturday Night Main Event. On Monday night, we did have Punk and Sami kind of beat him up, chase him away from Jey Uso. So a lot of stuff circulating this match as well. It's not main eventing, which makes, a lot of the fantasy booking stuff seem like it may not happen because, we get big moments in main events. So this isn't that. But ever since that Jey Uso celebration after WrestleMania, people have been talking about Sami Zayn. And if he is going to eventually become that third man for Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker at Saturday Night Main Event, are we getting the Sami Zayn turn on CM Punk and joining them?
Yeah, you said big stuff happens in the main events. Big stuff also happens in Seth Rollins matches. Big stuff also happens in the opening match, like at Backlash, right? Where we saw a JC Mateo debut. So I think if this one goes on first, especially, I think those chances just drastically go up. I'm going yes on this one. I think Sami Zayn does turn. It just makes too much sense. It kind of screaming at us right there. Like, come on, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And for a lot of people that said the Rollins Heyman stuff was thrown in their face a lot, right? Like, oh, there's no way he doesn't. Have you been paying attention to the signs? Well, the signs are all there for Sami Zayn to turn on CM Punk. I just don't see how he doesn't. It would make the story a lot more interesting. For me, it would make Sami Zayn a lot more interesting. I'd be bought back in on Sami Zayn again, which is something I haven't said really since he left the Bloodline stuff. So I'm going yes on this one. I think he does do it, and I think you have the third and final member join that side, and then you got the battle lines drawn there.
I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know because I can't make it make logical sense storyline-wise. Now, do I want to see Sami Zayn turn? Hell yeah, because I've been one on the side of the fence of like, I've been kind of over the Sami Zayn character and him kind of doing the same stuff for 2 years here. I want to see this Sami Zayn turn heel, turn on everybody that he's kind of made friends with over the last couple years because Sami Zayn has been that glue guy. He was a big part of the glue guy when it came to the Bloodline 2.0 Civil War stuff last year. And now seeing him being like, nah, screw all that. I'm going to go join Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and them. That just would get my interest level through the roof. So I'm hoping that he does, but I don't think he is going to. And that said, if Sami Zayn does not turn, which 50-50 I would say at this point, are we going to get an introduction of the third member? And I ask that because it feels like we don't even have a clue who the third member could be at this point going into Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, there are a lot of people saying, like, why does there even need to be a third member? And I would say to you, well, you're probably right. Maybe there doesn't need to be one. But we love to just speculate and kind of let our imaginations run. Like I said, if it's not Sami Zayn, it's Logan Paul. I think that's really, it's like a 50-50 shot on who it's going to be. Now, I would say that Logan Paul doesn't necessarily need to be in a faction. I would say Logan Paul doesn't necessarily need Paul Heyman. He doesn't need Braun Breaker. He doesn't need Seth Rollins. But at the same time, it would bring a level of heat to that faction. We talked a little bit about when we went to Raw. How are they going to have anybody ever boo this faction? How are they ever going to make these guys be the bad guys? Well, you just insert Logan Paul into that. I mean, that just takes it up a whole notch, and you can have some fans actually turn at that point. And you can say, okay, now they're for real. Now they got 3 people who are legitimate threats to the title, and we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting, too. Seth now has another guy to do his kind of dirty work, even though Logan's not there a ton. So that'd be an interesting dynamic just to see how that kind of plays off.
Yeah. Everybody in WWE content creation has been fantasy booking who the third member is going to be. Who's it going to be? Like the call-ups from the NXT, that would be great. The Austin Theories of the world who are looking for something new. This, that. But I think I'm with you. I think at this point, the only third member that makes any damn sense is going to be Logan Paul. And that hurts my heart. And you're right. No one's booing this freaking faction because Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman is such a cool faction to be around. It's like, okay, they're heels, but this is awesome. How do you make them boo? You put the most hated guy in the WWE, in professional wrestling probably, into the faction. And Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins was kind of talking to Logan Paul like a buddy here, saying that, hey, man, if you do win that title, it's going to be because of me, and then we're going to run that back one-on-one. So it would be unfortunate, but I do think that if we get the third member to be Logan Paul, but if it's not Sami at Saturday Night Main Event, I don't think we get the reveal at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and like I said, it's interesting because Logan isn't really on TV a lot, so you could technically do he's a part of the faction, but he's also kind of really never there, so it almost seems as if there's really no third member, I guess. It would be a really interesting dynamic. Something that Logan Paul, I mean, I don't want to say he needs something, but he does come out a lot of the times. He cuts the same type of promos, and he has the same types of matches, and at the end of the day, he has the same results. So you're like, okay, well, eventually, if you want to get him where WWE thinks he's going to go or can go, you kind of got to align him with some people. Rollins has been there, done that. Braun Breaker's next guy up. Paul Heyman's Paul Heyman. I mean, I would be very upset, but it does make a lot of sense in terms of years down the line, learning from Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins for Logan Paul to do that.
I think it'd be gold. And I hate to say it, but I think it would actually be gold. So moving on, though. John Cena, R-Truth, not for the title, but it is happening. R-Truth's going to be in a PLE match against Johnny Boy in 2025. You love to see it. Question here is, after Backlash, John Cena did kind of have second thoughts when he's looking down at that belt. And a lot of people are speculating that R-Truth could be the man to finally turn John Cena back to being a face. Is that going to happen at Saturday Night Main Event?
I'm going no on this one. I think he's going to play with our heartstrings. I think R-Truth is going to come out. I said it once before. I'll say it again. Why not come out in the old John Cena gimmick and the entrance and the shorts? And why not have him talk to Stu and have him do the run and do the salute and the hat throw? Why not do that? And then just play with John Cena like, John, you're not John Cena. I know the real John Cena. This is not you. What happened to the John Cena that I love, that they love, that everybody loved? And John Cena thinks about it for a second. Then he thinks about it. And then he just destroys R-Truth at the end of the day. He really cements his decision here as he is the bad guy.
Yeah. My prediction is R-Truth is going to be the man who comes closest to turning John Cena back into a face. But John's going to make it very apparent here that he is not going to turn back to a face, in my opinion, at all in this last run for the rest of the year. I'm with you. I think R-Truth gives it his best effort. Probably has a moment where he's down on his hands and knees pleading to John Cena that this isn't you, John. This isn't you, John. You're my childhood hero that you are. And then we get John Cena deciding to just, no, I've done everything right. I'm the champion. I hate all of you. I'm going to destroy this man. And he does. And he walks all the way into December as a heel champion. That's my final prediction on it.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be maybe a sliver of hope there for R-Truth in terms of him fighting. He said it's not something he wants to do, but if he's got to do it, he's going to do it. So I think there's going to be a sliver of time there, a sliver of hope where R-Truth maybe hits a finisher or two and you're like, oh my God, R-Truth might actually do it. And then maybe that's when Cena snaps out of it.
Maybe he gets the pin and maybe Cena gets the pin and R-Truth's like, nah, I still love you, Cena. And then Truth turns heel. He's like, no, I'm still following John. Other rumor, it's been speculating for weeks. We thought we'd see it at Backlash, or a lot of people thought we'd see it at Backlash, but is Saturday Night Main Event the night that we're going to get a Cody Rhodes return during the John Cena R-Truth match?
That's a really tough one. I've gone kind of back and forth, talked to some people about that. Specifically, does he return here or maybe at a Money in the Bank? I think you save it. I think you save it for Money in the Bank. Now, you may say, why do that? This is on TV to a lot of people that maybe don't get to see it, so it's a chance to reintroduce Cody Rhodes and really kind of set Cena versus Rhodes off again if that is what we decide to do. But I'm going Money in the Bank here. we don't really know what John Cena is going to do then, so it may be just a promo at Money in the Bank or something along those lines. Maybe Cody comes and interrupts him there. I think there's so much other stuff that's going to happen on this card, and with the 4 matches, there's so much story here and there. Everybody's mind is going to be like, well, there's this happened with the tag match, and Logan Paul and Jey Uso happened with this, and it was a good match, and John Cena, I just think that Cody Rhodes then as well, stuff is going to be overshadowed here, and I think there's almost too much on the plate if Cody comes back. That's really my only thought. I wouldn't mind it. I would love to see Cody Rhodes back, but I just think Money in the Bank's probably where we get that at.
I do think we get Cody Rhodes back, and you know why I think it? Because we need him back, man. SmackDown is starving without him. I'll say it. I miss the man. I miss Cody Rhodes, and if you're going to implement him, I would rather them do it now, and then we do get some sort of like throwaway match at Money in the Bank for Cena again or something, because it's rumored that he's not going to be defending the title at Money in the Bank. So if you have Cody return, you can do some sort of stupid tag match with Cody and Truth versus Travis Scott and John Cena or some crazy thing like that. But we lead into SummerSlam with like a good 2-month buildup of Cody Cena round 2, which would be really good to see. And you need that kind of main event star power for your 2-night SummerSlam for the first time ever. But at the end of the day, I want to see Cody Rhodes back, man. I miss him. So, like, please come back, Cody.
Yeah, it hasn't really been that long when you look at the calendar and you're like, well, it's really only been like a month and a half-ish at this point. But dang, it feels like a lot longer.
That 3rd hour SmackDown, man.
It feels like a long time.
Give me a 10-minute entrance with a whoa. I need it, okay? I need it. Take a little bit of that 3rd hour out. Damien Priest, Drew McIntyre. We'll finish it off here. They're in a steel cage. I think that this match has the potential to steal the show because, I mean, they're just 2 huge dudes trapped in a cage who know what to do.
It's your type of wrestling, right?
My type of wrestling. They're going to smack the hell out of each other. But there's not a lot of questions being surrounding this one. More of the question here is just where do they go after this? It doesn't really matter who wins. Just what do you see Damien doing? What do you see Drew doing after?
I think the biggest question is with this match is the steel cage blue or not?
Oh, that's true.
Is
it blue or not? It better be.
Yes or no?
Yes or yes?
It's gotta be
red.
Oh God. In terms of where do both of them go, I don't know. Damien Priest, I would say he kind of just fades away. I think Damien does end up losing this match. So at the end of the day, you kind of look at it. You're like, okay, well, that's that. Damien Priest, once again, just kind of hanging out. There's no real story. There's no real way where he gets elevated up, even with a win, in my opinion, because John has that on lock. Drew McIntyre, you could potentially run him and Jacob Fatu. I understand that Solo Sikoa and Jacob's the end goal with that stuff, like a SummerSlam potentially, but you need some stuff to kind of, fill in the meantime here. And you need something to kind of really drive maybe another instance where Solo tries to help Fatu, ends up hitting Fatu, almost costing Fatu, maybe something like that. Drew McIntyre has said he wants to go after Jacob Fatu, which is the only real reason why I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. We all know Jacob's not losing the title anytime soon, so it feels weird because Drew needs a title of some sort, especially with the work he's done over the last 2 years. But I just really want to see Drew and Jacob, so that's where I'm going. Yeah,
I would really like to see Drew versus Jacob, but I agree that Jacob's also not going to lose anytime soon, and so I don't know if I want to see Drew. I don't want to see Drew lose a feud, really, for a while, but I also want to see him face guys like Fatu, and I wouldn't mind getting a title-less Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre feud. I mean, we're a long ways away from that because Cody ain't even showing up to work at the moment, but that would be awesome. Damien Priest, on the other hand, got no idea. If I were him, I'd pray for a draft announcement because I feel like he needs to get shot back to Raw or something. I don't really know. I've been trying to fantasy book Damien Priest in my head, and I like Damien Priest, but to me right now, he really just doesn't fit in anywhere. Rumors are he's pretty banged up, so maybe you write him off for a little bit. That's an easy way to kind of, when they're away, the heart grows fonder, right? So you could do that with them. But either way, I think that Drew needs to win this thing, and I think Drew needs to be catapulted into a mainline feud with someone of his caliber, and he needs to come out with a win on it. But I guess my answer is I have no idea, and that's not a good answer, but it is what it is.
Yeah, originally I would have said Drew versus John Cena at like Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
For just a feud. But again, like you said, you don't want to see Drew continuing to lose feuds, but you look at the title holders right now, we all assume Jacob is going to go against Solo at some point and lose that title there. Maybe they decide to not have it in there, but that just, I feels like at this point the title's going to be on the line there. And John's wrapped up there. So it's like both of these guys should be on that main event level, or Damien maybe just a little bit underneath that, maybe upper mid card.
Yeah.
Nowhere really for them to go. Kind of the same about LA Knight.
And even the mid-card titles are kind of stuck too right now because you're not ripping it off Dom anytime soon. And Jacob Fatu is freaking Jacob Fatu. So it's like, damn, where do these guys go?
Yep.
We shall find out. But anyway, Saturday Night Main Events looking pretty good. 4 matches, and obviously they have a bunch of stuff clouding them, so that's nice to see. We will be there watching it. It'll be a lot of fun. But for more of our content, check out our Raw review. It'll probably be up on the screen right now. That was awesome. Raw was good this week. And for everything else, catch us right here on youtube.com/@CODWrestlePod for all of our live streams. We do Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs. And then for everything else, it's at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. Linktree in our bio. Everything's there. Drop all the answers to these questions in the comments under the video. That'd be nice to see. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.